Now at 10, a Joplin church holds a Church in the Park event for its members. Plus, the Miners Hall Museum hold a program on the founding and history of McCune, Kansas. And Main Street Axe Company hosts a hatchet throwing marathon for the community of Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carrie Worthen. Members of Central Christian Center in Joplin today enjoyed the nice weather with a church at the park. They gathered at Leonard Park at 10:30 a.m. for the service. Encouraging word, music, and games for the kids were included. And at the end of the day, attendees filled up on hot dogs and hamburgers provided by the church.
Just being a part of the community and being outside. That's why we come to this park. It's kind of we're at Leonard Park. It's kind of an unforgotten park and just kind of small and cozy, but yet there's nice trees and stuff. So we just want to be a part of nature and be a part of the community and serve God at the same time.
The service ended in prayer from Pastor Hank. The Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas held a special program on the founding of McCune, Kansas. McCune, a town of about 400 people in Crawford County, was founded in 1881. The grain elevator is the centerpiece of McCune and still stands to this day. The presenter during the event was Kent Smith, who has close ties to the community.
Those pioneers that settled the land. A lot of the people that were instrumental in developing McCune had also had a role to play in Jacksonville, the development of the railroad.
The program began at 2 p.m. and was free to the public. Celebrating 40 years of motorsports in the Ozarks, the Ozark Regional Sports Car Club of America autocross event showcased a vibrant community of racing enthusiasts at a local motorsports park. KOAM Shagun Bombadeli was there and has more.
The autocross event, which took place at Crowder College, featured a challenging course specifically designed to test the agility and control of the drivers.
So we set up cones on large parking lots or airfields, and then we divide the cars into different classes, and we race around the cones, and the best time wins its class.
With its combination of tight turns and high-speed sections, the course demanded the utmost concentration and skills from the competitors.
It lets the drivers push their cars to the limit in a safe and controlled environment. We run one car at a time, so there's no risk of like fender to fender or car to car contact. But it's still a pretty exciting event to run.
One driver says the race is challenging and it requires a lot of focused attention.
There's some adrenaline. I think probably the challenge of moving at a really quick pace is pretty exciting. The cones come at you at a very rapid rate, so you have to use your reflexes.
The autocross format emphasizes precision over sheer speed, so safety is of the utmost priority.
We have a lot of safety parameters in place. We put our drivers and our spectators' safety first, so we're very concerned about making sure that everyone is here to enjoy themselves and can go home safely.
In Neosho, Shagbamdele, KOAM News.
Over 60 cars participated in the event. Some folks in Joplin spent their day throwing axes. Main Street Axe Company hosts a hatchet marathon. Throwers of all skill levels were able to enter. It featured 28 matches and a double elimination tournament. Organizers say hosting tournaments like this are a great way to bring people together for a little fun.
Today we're throwing a hatchet marathon league. We're an affiliate of the World Axe Throwing League, and so a regular 8-week league season is being played today, all in one day. So each thrower today will play 28 games.
There was also a skee-ball tournament at the event. Chloe Arroyo joins us for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, temperatures right now feeling very comfortable outside. We had a beautiful afternoon, topping out into the 70s. Right now we're hanging around into the lower 60s to upper 50s. Carthage at 59, Anderson 64, Parsons, you're currently at 60. Now the culprit for these warmer temperatures this evening, those southerly winds. It's very calm, or very slight winds, but they're helping and they're contributing to those cooler temperatures, or those warmer temperatures as of right now. But temperatures are going to dip down into the mid-50s. 54 for our low. By the mid-morning hours, we'll reach to the 70s, 70 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. Now, coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about not only the beautiful day that we have ahead of us tomorrow, but also the timeline for the chances of rain that we're expecting to see throughout the entire week. I'll have all that coming up here in just a bit.
We told this past week about a 12-day biking journey by Pitt State President Dan Shipp. He left Pittsburgh on Monday and made it to Wichita yesterday. Reporter Joe Baker has more on why he's riding and the impact he's having along the way.
Pittsburgh State University President Dan Shipp is biking across the state with a purpose. 800 miles of biking with 15 stops across the state.
Some days it feels like 1,000, some days, like today was a great day, right? Weather was perfect and we had a really great ride into Wichita.
Kansas BMX Hall of Famer and Pitt State alum Daryl Pulliam is along for the ride as well.
I actually designed the route to start in Pittsburgh, go up through Topeka, down through Emporia, here in Wichita, and then we'll head west out to Garden City. We'll go north up to Colby and then out to the Colorado state line.
The goal for this trip, to raise $8 million for Pittsburgh State Scholarship Fund to make school more affordable for students.
Our main goal for this entire event is just to raise money for our students and scholarship dollars.
Members of the team are doing more than just biking as well.
To do some service wherever we could along the way, to really share with others what Pitt State's all about. And that's active learning, active community engagement wherever we go.
On Saturday, members of the team serving our community, picking up trash along the Arkansas River.
We've done a lot of pickup as we go. So whether it's an organized project or not, we have all kinds of bags and equipment. And so if we're stopping in towns, we pick up trash and try to make parks nicer throughout the state of Kansas.
I've always loved giving back to communities that have helped us so much.
In the end, each say they hope to help those who really want to further their education.
College is expensive. For us to be able to go out and raise dollars to help, field the way for other people that may not be able to afford college but really want to go, that's really where our hearts are at right now.
Coming up, racing against the clock.
President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy will meet Monday to negotiate a deal in order to avoid default. I'm Cristian Benavides with the latest.
Plus, Texas lawmakers consider extending emergency ordinance in an attempt to handle the migrant crisis. President Biden cut his overseas trip short in order to negotiate a deal with Republicans who are calling for spending cuts. CBS News correspondent Christine Beladidas reports.
Please have a seat.
President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have set a Monday afternoon meeting to reach a deal over raising the nation's debt ceiling. White House and Republican negotiators have been unable to reach consensus over the weekend.
I think it's really important that they sit down in person. It's really hard when you have emissaries acting on your behalf.
President Biden and Speaker McCarthy spoke over the phone about the so far failed negotiations as the president rushes back to Washington after cutting his G7 trip short in order to hammer out a deal in person.
I believe it was a productive phone call. We're 11 days out. We've got to be able to solve this problem, and we have to spend less than we spent last year.
Prior to departing Japan, Biden called on Republicans to move towards a deal through a combination of spending cuts and new tax revenues.
It's time for Republicans to accept that there is no bipartisan deal to be made solely on their partisan terms.
The GOP is calling for what amounts to a 13% across-the-board cut in federal spending, along with work requirements for entitlements. On Sunday, some Republicans suggested there may be wiggle room to that June 1st date when the U.S. is expected to run out of money. But Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen called it a hard deadline.
I certainly haven't changed my assessment.
Economists say a default could send stocks plummeting, increase interest rates for credit cards and mortgages, and even send the U.S. economy into a recession. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
The city of El Paso, Texas is considering the extensions of 2 emergency ordinances to continue to help deal with the migrant crisis at its southern border. On Monday, City Council members will consider whether to continue to authorize extra personnel and resources to address the humanitarian and public safety crisis. The U.S. government says in the first several days after Title 42, there was a drop of about 50% in migrant encounters at the border. However, hundreds of migrants now in Chicago are sleeping on the floors of a police station, and hundreds more are on the way. Beginning June 1st, up to 400 migrants may be temporarily relocated to Wright College. Located on the city's northwest side, the college is the largest target of a city desperately seeking out underutilizing buildings where migrants all across Chicago can be safely housed until more stable shelter space opens up. A little later, Missouri Southern takes on Minnesota State Manico again today. Brock Baldridge will have highlights in sports.
Looking to mow your lawn? I'll tell you how much time you have left coming up next. Well, what a beautiful day it was today, and I'm happy to report that tomorrow will be a similar setup. A beautiful day as well. Let's take a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just west of Seneca, Missouri. Earlier, the sunset was beautiful. Now the sun has gone down quite a bit, completely, excuse me. So now the winds are also dying down just a bit, which was keeping us a little warm since they're coming from the south. Temperatures right now hanging in the lower 60s, upper 50s. Carthage at 59, Stockton 59 as well. Nevada, you're at 60 degrees, while Chanute 61 degrees as it stands. So very comfortable outside, a little on the chilly side, but very comfortable and also very average for this time of year. And tomorrow will be a similar setup. We're pretty on track. Tomorrow our high is expected to be 75, while our average high for the month of May 78 degrees. Same thing for our low, hanging around in the upper 50s. Our low tomorrow night expected to be 59. Average is 58 degrees. So much nicer than a 40-degree low or a 90-degree high, much nicer than that. But with those warmer temperatures and the drier conditions, we also have a lot of drought going on. Joplin, you're on the cusp between a dry and normal range, but as you head a little further west, not so lucky. Hickory Hill in Sedan in those exceptional range of dry conditions. Fredonia and Independence in that extreme range as well. This also extends further up north into Yates Center as well as Webster in Chanute. You guys are pretty dry as it stands, but I'm happy to report that we have lots of rain coming up into this week. Very average or above average for the next week or two. So specifically this week, let's take a look at this timeline. The first round of rain will kick us off on Tuesday evening. We'll see the first areas of scattered showers here and there. Once again, none of these are strong to severe by any means, but they are really good for our environment because we're going to need as much rain as we can get with these drought conditions. Wednesday night, we'll see our second round, followed by our third round. Thursday evening, more showers, a little more widespread around the viewing area, and then we'll get a little bit of a break as we head into Friday. We'll get more of a break on Saturday as well until we get into late Saturday night into Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. We'll see our next chance for rain, and then some clouds will enter into the picture by the time we get into the evening hours on Sunday evening. So let's take a look at our overall 7-day. Temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s, 80 and 81 by Wednesday and Thursday. But overall, we're going to see some rain, which is really good for our drought conditions in the area.
All right, so if you need to mow my lawn, I mean your lawn, tomorrow is the day to do it.
I mean, I'll mow your lawn too.
All right, thank you, Chloe. If you're prone to mosquito bites in the summer, chances are they're smelling you out because of your scent. A new study finds mosquitoes may be attracted to more than others because of the individual's body odor. Those attracting more mosquitoes let out more of a certain acids produced by skin microbes. Those bite not as often let out less of those acids. Still ahead, there's lots of action in Major League Baseball today, and Missouri Southern looks to keep their season alive. We'll go through the highlights next in sports.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions come into Sunday needing to win 2 games in order to move on to the NCAA Division II Super Regionals. However, the Lions are only 1 loss away from being eliminated and ending their season. We'll pick things up on a Sunday afternoon at Warner Turner Field. The Lions are taking on Minnesota State Mankato, who they lost to on Saturday. Top of the first, Minnesota State strikes first. Jackson Hodge singles this to right field. An RBI single gives Minnesota State a 1-0 lead. Minnesota State started out the game up 4-0, but here come the Lions. Bottom of the 4th now. Lions down 4-0. Matt Miller pulls this down the right field line and bounces off of the fence. Henry Kuziak comes to the score. Lions on the board, but still trail 4-1. Bottom of the 5th now. Game tied 4-4. Garrett Rice singles this to the left side of the infield. RBI single gives the Lions their first lead of the day, now up 5-4. Later in the inning, Lions up 7-4. Nate Muskowski belts a laser to left field and clear the patio out there in left. Look out, ground rule double gives Missouri Southern a 9-4 lead. Southern takes care of business and goes on to win and beat Minnesota State 9-4. So here we are in Game 2. Missouri Southern gets rid of the first game out of the way. So now on to the next game, elimination game here. Top of the 3rd inning, Lions trail 2-1. Ethan Clark ties it right back up. The line drive, RBI base hit up the middle. Lions tied the game up 2-2. Minnesota State gets the lead right back to 5-3. Missouri Southern's Leif Holting gets the strikeout to end the inning, the 3rd, to stop the bleeding. Top of the 4th now, Lions down 5-2. Nate Muskowski hits a liner to right field. Peyton Beck will come in to score, and just like in Game 1, Missouri Southern is inching closer, but Minnesota State is not letting the Lions back in it in this go-around. Bottom of the 7th, Mikey Gottschalk hits this to the right side of the infield. Nate Muskowski can't field it cleanly. Mavericks go up 10-3. Bottom of the 9th now, last chance of the Lions. Double play, that is the ball game. Minnesota State beats Missouri Southern 10-4. The Mavericks move on to the Super Regionals. The Lions are now eliminated from the Central Region, and that is the end of Missouri Southern's 2023 season. Well, the Kansas City Royals are wrapping up their long road trip in Chicago. As for the Cardinals, they're trying to turn their season around and have a chance to beat the Dodgers in a series this weekend. Dodgers at Cardinals on a Sunday at Busch Stadium. Bottom of the 2nd, no score. Tommy Edman parachutes this one right into left field. Redbirds go up 1-0. Later in the inning, Oscar Mercado at the plate. He'll drive this one into the gap, and this will bounce and roll all the way up to the wall. 2-run double by Mercado gives St. Louis a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the 7th now, Cards up 7-3. Paul DeJong, and that ball is gone. 3-run jack gives St. Louis a 10-3 lead. Cardinals beat LA 10-5 and win the series. Royals at White Sox in Chicago. Top of the 2nd inning, no score. Michael Massey, nice to see you here. 2-run bomb. The Southsider native picks up a home run in his hometown. Nice to see there. Bottom of the 4th now, same score, Luis Robert hits this well to right field, and this ball is just going to get over the fence out there in right. White Sox get on the board. They're down 2-1 after the Robert solo home run. Bottom of the 7th now, 4-2 Sox. Former Royal Andrew Benintendi, Woo Pig, 2-run single up the middle, 5-2 White Sox, and that's the final score of the ball game. The White Sox beat the Royals 5-2. Chicago sweeps Kansas City. Well, the NCAA Division I softball regionals are underway. A few recognizable local teams get to move on to Super Regionals next weekend. Starting off in the Norman region, nothing is slowing down the OU softball program. The Sooners get the win and defeat the California Golden Bears 60-3 in 5 innings. Sooners hold on to the best record in the NCAA with 54 wins and only 1 loss all season long. OU will advance to Super Regionals and host the Clemson Tigers next week. The Arkansas Razorbacks are hosting in the Fayetteville Regional. Arkansas had trouble all weekend with the Oregon Ducks today, and they proved that once again. Arkansas loses to Oregon 14-5 in 5 innings. Arkansas now has been eliminated from the NCAA softball regional tournament. Last but not least, the Oklahoma State Cowgirls keep their season alive. The Cowgirls defeat the Nebraska Cornhuskers on a Sunday, 5-2. OSU is moving on to the Super Regionals. Cowgirls will host the Oregon Ducks, and the winner of that will advance to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. That's it for sports tonight. We'll be back after this.
Here are some four-legged athletes best known for being the favorite pet of Queen Elizabeth. While they might not have the longest legs, these speedsters have quite the kick in them. The event was organized by the Omaha Corgi Crew and featured local vendors, animal rescues, and food trucks. It was held as a part of a fundraising effort to help support local rescues. The Omaha Corgi Crew has over 2,500 members and has been showing off the vertically challenged dogs since 2011.
Vertically challenged.
I like that. That's cute. All right, Chloe, tell us what we have coming up.
Yeah, so if you want to mow your lawn, tomorrow is the perfect day to do so before we see the next 3 days after that. Chances for rain. We also have another chance on Saturday and Sunday, specifically late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Aside from that, enjoy the warm temperatures.
And tell us about OU softball.
OU softball, they are terrific, but I do want to say something about Missouri Southern baseball. Missouri Southern, great season. The seniors have had a terrific career, especially Matt Miller, the Aurora, Missouri kid. Congrats to him on a great career, but sucks to see Missouri Southern season go down too soon.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. That's our time for now. Thank you for making us a part of your night.